appreciate you for watching. So let me just go straight to the reasons why I'm here. I just want to do this quickly as possible. I saw a reply by the Lagos State government about Peter Obi's allegations, stating that his brother's property has just been destroyed. It's quite shocking. The so-called statement released by the Lagos State government. So let me read the statements. Clarification on demolition of property. The Lagos State government is compelled to address the recent allegations made by Mr. Peter Obi regarding the demolition of a property belonging to his brother. We wish to categorically state that the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASBCA, or any other arm of the Lagos State government did not carry out the said demolition. Dr. Olajide Abiodun Babatunde, Special Advisor, EGs and Urban Development, who supervises the LASBCA, has confirmed that the agency was not involved in a demolition. We find it disturbing that Mr. Peter Obi would make such allegations without verifying the facts. The Lagos State government is committed to upholding the rule of law and ensuring the safety and security of all residents. We will not tolerate any acts of lawlessness or violations of extant laws. Any individual or group found involved in such acts will be brought to justice. We urge the public to disregard Mr. Peter Obi's claims and rest assured that the Lagos State government will continue to work tirelessly to maintain law and order in our great state. We will not be swayed by baseless allegations or attempts to discredit our efforts. Furthermore, we have directed the Permanent Secretary Office of the Urban Development, Architect Bolahon Owoduni, Oki, FNIA, to request a full investigation by the Lagos State Building Control Agency into this matter. This investigation will help clarify the circumstances surrounding the demolition and ensure that any necessary actions are taken. The Lagos State government welcomes everyone to live and work in the state, and we assure all residents of our continued commitments to their safety and well-being. Signed, Mr. Benga Omotosho, Honorable Commissioner, Information and Strategy, Lagos State Government. I mean, I'm stunned. You know that adage that says, it's best you are quiet, lest you open your mouth and be deemed to be a foolish person. This is exactly what this statement is about. So a demolition of that magnitude happened right under your noses. You couldn't even say, first of all, you couldn't even say anything meaningful. There is nothing to this statement that proves that the Lagos State government even knows what's going on in Lagos State. A high-profile person has just lost his property. You're not concerned about the way and manner that the property was destroyed, but you are more concerned about what Peter Obi said to you, or whether he says. I mean, what if something happens in Anambra, for crying out loud, or happened in Enugu, for crying out loud? There is practically nothing to directly spin into anything. You call on the government, and like the so-called court document speaks, the court document showed that it was unknown, and instead of addressing those issues, you are saying you are going to investigate. What are you really investigating? What exactly is the Lagos State government really investigating? I'm so angry at the statement. In fact, I've never really been angry about what has happened. Maybe there's a mix-up somewhere, but this statement just proves one thing, that the government of Lagos State is aware of what happened to that property. But you know what? I'm still in the era of politics and politicking. This is exactly what they can come up with. And so for a right-thinking person, this particular statement will suffice. So if I'm an investor who is watching this development, my company someone's company in broad daylight has just been destroyed. This is what the Lagos State government will come up with. without stating fact, without concretely stating fact. And mind you, they were pushed to even release the statements. This thing happened some 2 3 days ago, and instead of them to release a statement very very early on, they're releasing the statements way before, way after so many days of this particular incident. And I just feel that this government of Lagos State is culpable. It's culpable in so many ways, and this is the reason why I'll say that. A certain Bayo Onanuga, the president's media head, at one point said that never again will the Igbos be allowed to sway or to influence the Lagos State politics. That was what a Bayo Onanuga said. Never again should an Igbo man or Igbos be allowed to influence what happens in Lagos politics. That is what Bayo Onanuga said. And up until this moment, not even the president, not even the Yoruba group have actually counseled him or maybe told him off about these comments that he has made. And these are the things that fuel some of these issues. When things are not addressed, because when something else happened, then people start looking at what exactly happened. Remember that during the 2023 elections, there was this back and forth between the Igbos and Yorubas in Lagos State. And the demolition that happened afterwards, many persons felt it was directed at the Igbos. The demolitions continued over and over and over and over again. Even though the Lagos State government says, oh, they were destroying buildings along the canal, which, most of it were true. But many people think that if you are demolishing buildings along the canal, who gave those approvals? Somebody collected money. Somebody in that office collected money. There's nobody that is foolish that will just go stand up and go and take land and start building without some sort of approvals. And so if somebody gets approval from a government and they go ahead to build, what else are you, what are you saying? What are you doing? Like, why then wouldn't you in any way arrest those who give those approvals as people who are complicit to some of these issues? Why wouldn't you do that? But then you punish people who have collected approvals, who have built, who have probably sweat. This is so unfortunate, quite frankly. And sometimes you wonder what you can do as an individual when it is government that is victimizing you. You wonder, where do you go to? As an individual who is a citizen of a country, where do you go to? You're practically helpless. I mean, if this is a statement that the government of Lagos State can release about this issue, then I am stunned. In fact, they would have been better off quiet than making that statement. The statement is so. If the Lagos State government want to find out the person who did that demolition, they will. Let's be clear on this. If government of Nigeria is looking for you, no matter where you are in this world, they'll get you. Let alone Lagos State government inside Lagos, the demolition happened, and then you had the court document, and then they said unknown persons, and then you come up with this kind of statement and you are telling us you are going to investigate. Does that make any sense to anybody? It's terrible, really. It's terrible. And it's so unfortunate that it's coming from the government of the day. And this so-called hatred again, and another election is around the corner, and it's going to spawn up again. The ethnic slur, the ethnic back and forth that happened in 2023 is actually going to happen again in 2027. Just in case you're wondering whether it will happen or it will not happen, or maybe it will in any way have any influence on the elections, it will. They are going to find a way to spin another ethnic nonsense just to call the Igbos bad, and then they start taunting you. Now everything is cool, everything is quiet. Tinubu is going from one Igbo state to another, soliciting for help, soliciting for support for 2027. And this is what you are doing to their brother. Does that make any sense? No, seriously, does that make any sense? It's terrible, really. No, no. I mean, I really want to know. You are moving from one state to another, especially in Igbo land. You've gone to Anambra, you've come to Enugu, you've gone to this, you've come to a considerable amount of states, and then you are hoping that they support you for 2027, and then you are holding their own in court as the federal government against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I mean, this is a case that was way beyond, way, before you even came into power. Since 2017, that's when this case has been on. So you want the support of the Igbo bloc, and this is what you are doing to their brothers, demolishing their buildings in Lagos, and then holding their own in the Nigerian court, and then you feel and then you want their support for 2027. Then when the elections draw closer, the next thing you start hearing and you start saying is, oh, you start spooning ethnic nonsense, so that, well, the Igbos will not be allowed anymore to influence the politics of Lagos. But when it comes to paying of taxes, they will be involved in paying taxes. When it comes to involvement in development of Lagos, they will be in the forefront. When it comes to selling your land, you sell your land to Igbos, they will buy it. When it comes to development of critical infrastructure around Lagos, they are involved. But when it comes to choosing who leads them, the politics of influence of who leads them, it's a no-no, because the political class have decided on their own that this is the only way. Because mostly, if you don't use ethnicity to push an agenda, it wouldn't fly in Nigeria. In fact, an average Nigerian politician always looks out for anything ethnic to put, especially when it's an election. It always happens between the north and the south, but now it's happening within the southern part of the country. Look at what happened in 2023 elections. Just because people want to go and vote their leader, they have become people who are not supposed to be part of the people that vote for a leader just because they are from certain ethnic group. And then in order for you to even kill off this mindset that is brewing, that is in the mind of most Nigerians, in order for you to do certain things, you don't do it. And then you expect that the people who have been marginalized, or people who have been, brought down, support you somehow, support you, and sheepishly, foolishly. It doesn't work that way. It's so unfortunate how this has turned out. It's so unfortunate, and I'm beginning to think that really some of these things that happen are very deliberate. Our leaders are deliberate with their ethnic slur. They'll do everything possible to divide the people, because that's the only way that they can continue staying in power and continue, exerting themselves in power. And so the only way that as a people to stop them is to practically deny them whatever nonsense that they're doing. Yes, deny them. So deny them. When you see somebody who's trying to stoke that useless idea, push them out, trample upon them. Tell them to their faces, this is what you're trying to do, and so people can go out and do the bidding of their heart. I'm just hoping and thinking to myself every now and then, and I can only imagine what a very united Nigeria can achieve. A very united Nigeria in both color, in both diversity, in everything basically. I can only imagine what a united Nigeria can achieve. But we cannot achieve that with leaders whom we allow to stoke ethnic tension within us and then run away with it. Bayo Nanuga is the communication expert for this government. Up until this moment, he hasn't been told out, he hasn't been stopped. Igbos will not be allowed to influence Lagos election again. and then goes ahead. We have demolitions afterwards. What is terrible, really, what we have basically found ourselves in. I hope this ethnic slur stops. I mean, I can imagine the personality of Peter Obi. I can imagine the personality of Peter Obi. If this can happen to somebody like Peter Obi, who is a leader of opposition in Enugu, I mean, in the country, and you are releasing this kind of weak and crazy statement. There's some reactions though to this particular statement that has been released. This one says, "You are always in denial. You are always not knowing. Same way you don't know till this day who ordered the shooting at the LTG in 2020. Not once did Obi mention LASG. Not once. So who demolished the building? Simple. I should have thought that they would have given you the information on who demolished that building and why it was demolished, because it happened right under your jurisdiction. And the government house, so called, is even in that mainland, Ikeja. So what happened? Why are you not telling us the truth?" Petkov says, "This means that you guys really did it. You are telling the public to disregard him, but still saying that you will investigate. So that means we should disregard him when you have not confirmed if he is saying the truth or not." OMG. This person says, "The man said his brother's property was brought down illegally. It is more shocking that the government has come out to deny any involvement. Instead of working towards resolving the issue and getting to the root of it, you are more focused on telling the public to disregard Obi, which you did twice in the post, but forgets to apologize even once for the unlawful damages. You are worried Obi made allegations without verification, but not worried that somebody can demolish a building within your jurisdiction without consent. This is what I'm saying. You are talking about Peter Obi's allegations. Let's even say, without mentioning that Peter Obi, mentioned and said that Lagos State government is the one that demolished it. Why didn't you even apologize? Say, "I'm sorry," like, "We apologize for the damages that's been that you have encountered in this, but we are going to get to the root of the matter." No apology, but you are concerned about this is terrible. This one says, "I was expecting you to give us a name of who carried out the demolition and on whose command. For an individual to be bold enough to carry out such demolition, the government must be involved." There's no two ways about it. Where does it happen? That somebody will just wake up one morning, mobilize bulldozer, and move into a place and just bulldoze for a property that he does not own, and for a court document that is fake, obviously. Because anybody can go and print that thing that Peter B, that is online. Anybody can practically, create that document. And anybody can type anything. I mean, we're in digital age. Anybody can create anything. So this one says, this is from this one, "Attention, according to LSAG, the following was deduced. Peter Obi made false claims against the state government without verification. The state government disassociates itself from the incidents. The state government will investigate the matter. The perpetrators will be brought to face the consequence. Let's take a look at them. In the event of injustice, individuals reserve the right to make claims and allegations based on the fact before them, which is not different from what Peter Obi did. Sources close to the place of the incident said the people who carried out the act claimed to be from the state government. No single individual or group of individuals can carry out such massive demolition without the hand of the government in it. Even the state government have not investigated the incident themselves, yet they are casting aspersions on Mr. Peter Obi claims as frivolous. Pot calling kettle black. We already know how the investigation will end, and we are waiting for their shambles." I mean, this practically underscores that it ends everything you want to hear about this. I mean, I was hoping that something concrete is going to be released from the statement. And it's just so terrible. And I can only imagine if this can happen to Peter Obi. If this can happen to Peter Obi, who else can this happen to? Peter Obi of that standing. Peter Obi of that level. Peter Obi of that pedestal. Can you imagine that? If this can happen to him, who are you? Who is me? Maybe one day they will just come and put you under an underground cell and nothing will happen. This is terrifying. It's terrifying and it's so bad. It's so bad. The desperation out there, especially from politicians, is so bad. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. And this thing about the hatred for the Indibos. What did we do now? What did we do to you people? What did we do? If the name on that document, if the name on that property is a Yoruba name, would they have demolished it the way they did? If I thought we didn't even violated anything. If it was a Yoruba man's name or it was an Igbo man's name, or it's a company that belongs to a Yoruba man, would they do it that way? Would they have demolished it would they have demolished it that way? It's terrible. We're here, practically deceiving ourselves about one Nigeria, but yet everything that plays out every day shows that we are a nation divided against itself. Well, tell me what you think. I'd always be here to hear from you as always. God bless.